Hello, welcome in, and thank you for listening to the Why Do Boys Make podcast, the companion podcast to the renowned Why Do Boys Play Games Fantasy Football League. It is the final week of the season, and boy, do we have a show for you today, folks. With me, as always, is my co-host and daddy, Colin. Colin, welcome in. How you doing?
I'm doing good. No, I'm not really. I'm not really doing good. But I'll just say that we'll get into that.
Before we get into it, let's get into this. Let's move to the main reason why we're here. We've been teasing it for weeks now, making his return to the podcast for the first time in over a year. We have the number one seed in the league and fantasy football finalist, Adam B. Adam, welcome back. How you doing?
Corby, thanks for having me. I'm doing great. Can't complain. It's championship week. It's best week of the year.
Best week of the year. We've got the best interview of the year. Adam, once again, thank you again for coming back. We really appreciate it. We appreciate you listening and commenting and
Of course.
everything. Let's start with the burning question that you had answered last year, and we'd love to know if your opinion has changed. Why do boys play games?
Well, I don't really remember what I said last year, to be honest with you. But why do boys play games? I think the biggest reason is to win. You play to win. I'm a competitive person. I want to win. I want to beat you guys. I want to talk trash. It's the best part about playing games, in my opinion.
That was actually my answer too. I think when I first came on, as I
Really?
quoted the great Herm Edwards, and I said, "You play to win the game. Why do boys play
Maybe
games?"
I subconsciously pulled that, and that's why I said that. But I mean,
Well, I
that's the
stole it
reason.
from Herm, so
You
yeah,
it's for the glory.
couldn't agree more. And speaking of agreeing more, Adam, it's clear you've had a lot of success this year. You got a nice team. I've had you at the top of the power rankings a lot of times.
Yes,
So, what
sir.
was your strategy going into the draft this season? And do you think it has helped lead you to the finals this year?
My strategy going in, definitely has helped lead me to the finals. I don't know how many trades I made in this league, but I don't think I made very many at all. So I pretty much just went with my team from the draft and like waiver ads and stuff. So going in, I made some rankings using a few different sets of season-long projections, and I made adjustments for all my leagues based on the league settings. Different positions, 2 QBs in this league with 3 flexes. So it changed how things shake up. And then for each draft, I just had like a pretty strict strategy in terms of I mostly broke down players into tiers and was like, all right, I want 1 running back from the top tier and 2 from the third tier. And I want 2 top tier quarterbacks, which was my biggest thing going in, which is why I had Mahomes and Lamar, obviously. So yeah, and I mean, it worked out. I pretty much did the same thing in all my leagues. I'm in 4 championships this week out of 5 leagues. So I think I'll probably do the same thing next year.
Just a quick follow-up. I owned Lamar Jackson in a couple of these last year, and I found it pretty frustrating. Will you be a Lamar Jackson owner next year?
I know exactly what you're talking about because I've owned him before as well, and it was pretty annoying. And then I think I took a year or 2 off from owning him, and I have him in 2 leagues this year, and it's really annoying that he's hurt right now because I don't like starting Tyler Huntley or whoever else I have to start. But Lamar, I was looking at my rankings earlier, just because I saw this question on the sheet, and I had Lamar as my 4th quarterback. I feel like next year he would definitely be lower, just because of Mahomes for me is pretty much always gonna be 1, and obviously Josh Allen and Hurts and even Justin Fields now, and so I just feel like Lamar after another kind of disappointing year, not as high on him. He's been okay though.
They say you don't win at the championships. Adam defies those odds. Maybe this year. As we are talking about years, I wanted to know your opinion on New Year's resolutions and if you had made any going into the year 2023.
No, I don't do that. I don't. No, I can't even think of what it would be. Honestly.
Right, because Adam is perfect. Like what? Like
No.
why think it was perfect?
Okay, well, what are
Why
yours?
think
What are your guys?
Oh, I
do you
don't
have
have.
some?
I mean, I don't have any yet.
Mine's probably the
Okay.
same as 90% of America, which is try to be less fat. I need to lose some weight, but that's probably about
Yeah,
it.
but yeah, I don't know. That's just like you can do that anytime.
Right, that shouldn't be a New Year's resolution.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I've never been into that, like, ever.
Well, I know what you are into, because this
What?
next question is, what is the best meal you've ever had? Or if you don't want to answer that, maybe that's too tough. What is the best meal
Yeah.
you've had in 2022?
Dude, that's such a tough question. And, like, one individual meal, I don't know. I definitely think, one of the meals that, like, what was the name of it? It was Bobby Flay's restaurant at Mohegan Sun. I forget the name of his restaurant, but I got, this lobster there that was just incredible, with, like, a lemon butter sauce. That's probably up there. That was, like, the first thing that came to mind, so I'll go with that.
Makes a mean burger with potato chips on it as well.
His burger place also very good. Yeah, can't go wrong eating Bobby's food.
Let's get back on track here and go back to fantasy football. Let's continue to roster bait with Adam here. Adam, your favorite and least favorite players on your team.
Well, my favorite is Patrick Mahomes. I'm not sure if that's surprising. I love that guy. I think I own him in three leagues this year out of 5. Kind of pissed I don't have him in all 5. I hope next year that I do. Least favorite, that one's tough. I kind of want to, even though he's like been playing well, I kind of want to say Jerry Jeudy, just because like I have to root for the Broncos when like like the other day when me and Mike's matchup was pretty close, and I like needed Jerry Jeudy on Sunday, and like Russell Wilson had 2 interceptions and like practically no other stats at one point. It's like, okay, like I have to root for this team to do well. It was just really frustrating all year, I feel like. So I'm gonna go with him. It's my least favorite, even though he's had a pretty solid year.
Well, this next one, maybe is related, or I don't know if I would call him be this, egregious with him. Who do you think is your biggest bust of the season?
I don't see like so overall or like for my team. I was wondering that.
Just in fantasy football generally, but
Fantasy
you can also
football.
say your team too.
I mean, definitely Jonathan Taylor was a huge disappointment this year. I mean, I had him in one league and really sucked owning him. But also for my team, I've been pretty disappointed in Lamar for sure. I honestly thought him and Mahomes would be the top 2 quarterbacks, but
Well, that's what I meant when I was asking you. Even outside of injury, like he can just be
yeah,
really.
I know. Yeah,
The first few weeks he was in, he was averaging like 35 a game or something. He was doing
he
crazy.
started out hot. Yeah,
Yeah, and that was more what I meant. Outside
yeah,
of it,
but
he could just be so annoying. Like his
the injury is always a thing with him too, though. I mean, there's been another season where Huntley had to come in. I think it was last year, and
yeah, it was.
I mean, he just gets banged up easily, I feel like. But yeah, he definitely like even on a like points per game basis. I honestly thought it would be like Mahomes 1 and then Lamar 2 this year. And it hasn't. I don't know where he ranks in terms of that, but I have to imagine he's like probably 6 or 7, so definitely a disappointment for him. I don't know. I mean, Tom Brady's really bummed me out this year for sure, but I don't have him in this league.
He'll be better when he's back on the Pats next season.
Mhm.
Speaking of disappointing things, I've noticed lately we've had less engagement over the season for fantasy football in the comment section.
Yeah.
Adam, I'd love to pose this question to you because we have a new brain in the area here. What would you, if you hosted a fantasy football podcast, what would you do to retain viewers / listeners over an entire season?
Well, it's definitely tough. I mean, I feel like a good portion of our league isn't even active enough to like keep the full amount of players on the roster that they're allowed to have. So like then getting them to also like listen to a companion podcast for that league it's definitely tough. I can imagine. Maybe some high profile guests like towards the end of the year, like me and Cash are in the championship. Maybe you get like Patrick Mahomes and Justin Jefferson on.
That's a good idea.
Each team's best player. Have them talk about what it feels like to be competing for a championship at the highest level. Other than that, it's really tough. I mean, I think some of these fantasy managers need to buck up and put a little more focus on the league. I'm not going to name names, but you guys know who I'm talking about.
Let me take this next question here as you're going on about this, so Colin can close out with his question here. As you're talking about these managers that need to buck up and whatnot, who is the most overrated manager in the league?
Most overrated manager.
Well, don't be afraid.
I don't think he. No. I don't think he's rated this might be a weird answer because I don't think anyone would say he's rated very highly, but I'm gonna say Taylor. You know, I think he gets a little too much credit for, you know, getting some of these wins when it's just like the roll of the dice. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I think he was missing like two empty roster spots at one point for like multiple weeks. Just the fact that he's not like 0-14 and like people aren't just like constantly slandering his name tells me that he's the most overrated. Also, Colin, he's a little overrated too. I think underrated. I know this wasn't the question, but underrated manager. I got to give a shout out to my guy Chris Patnode. Very
Really?
very underrated fantasy manager. He's in the championship in the $100 league this week. He's won it twice already, so he's going for his third
He's won
win.
this one twice too. Wow.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And no one talks about him. And he snuck into the playoffs this year when the odds were against him, even though he lost. You know, he lost in the first round, but good manager. Shout out Chris.
It's a good call out, Adam. And a good. Speaking of championships, that's a good precursor to my question. So, what's your response to the time-honored proverb? First is the worst, second is the best, and third is the one with the hairy chest.
Well, I can't speak to third's chest, but I mean, first being the worst, it's just stupid. I mean, you know, why would first be the
Going
worst?
against centuries of wisdom here, by the way.
But can you explain it to me? Why is
can't.
first worst?
I don't know
Why
why
is
are we
second
killing
is the
two birds
best?
with stones. Like I don't know what it means. It's just we just know it's true.
Well, yeah, but no, I've never understood that. First is the best. Second is not good enough, and third, maybe I don't know. Maybe you have a hairy chest. I don't know. Well, it's
Me and
either
Michael
you,
decide
or Mike. Yeah, so I guess we'll see.
I don't think either of us have a hairy chest.
I guess it's wrong then. I don't know.
We'll revisit this in the next episode.
Yeah. I think the third place matchup will let us know the truth.
I've come up with a new power rankings here to pay homage to Fitzy. I don't know if we did the same power ranking last year, but did we do it the
I don't
same
know.
one?
I don't
100%
remember.
sure you did.
We
Oh
might have,
fuck.
but
Okay, well we're gonna bring this one back because I've been feeding for an energy drink lately. So let's if we load up Adam's screen here, beep beep boop bop beep beep boop 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 bop. Some, hitting the knobs and whatnot. You'll see 10 energy drinks on this up on your screen here. I would love you to rank them from 10 being the worst one and 1 being the best one.
okay. So I looked at the list, and first of all, number 10. I have to say I don't know what this is. I've never heard of this in my life. Zoa? Is that how you pronounce it? ZOA?
Yeah,
I don't know
Zoa.
what that is. What is that?
It's the Rocks energy drink.
Okay, never had it. I'm gonna put it 10.
Will you
If
try
I
it now
haven't,
that you saw it?
if I would try it, yeah, but I feel like I've never seen it before. So if I've never seen it, it can't be that good. So I have to put it 10, unfortunately. Number 9 would be Bang. It's gross. All the flavors are just gross, really nasty, sweet, disgusting shit. C4 is number 8. I think I've maybe only had it one time. Wasn't memorable. Number 7 is Rain, which I like the flavors they have, but I gotta say every time I drink one of those, the Rain energy drinks, I feel like my heart's gonna explode, which I don't think is good. So I just don't really get it anymore. What am I on? 6? Number 6, Monster. I don't like all those like sugar-free ones really. Kind of lame. The regular flavor, it's pretty good. Ultimately, kind of like I don't know, tastes like what I imagine piss tastes like a little bit, but I still like it. I still do. I will drink it for sure. And then number 5, Rockstar, very good drink. This is where I feel like 5 to 1. Like these are the ones that I'm really drinking like all the time. Rockstar is very good, especially the fruit punch flavor. A lot of caffeine in those, so if you really need some energy, you can't go wrong. Red Bull, number 4, great flavor. Flavor 10 out of 10. Price 1 out of 10 because it's more expensive than every other one for like a smaller can, which is just stupid. So like I can't justify that. Number 3, I would put Amp. Gotta respect it. Regular green flavor is great. classic energy drink. Number 2 is Nos. Delicious. All 3 flavors. There's a citrus, a sour apple, and a grape. Just a beautiful drink. Also comes in a nice 24-ounce size, which you can't go wrong with. And then number 1 is Full Throttle, which is, just the best energy drink. They have a nice patriotic can with an American flag on it, which I like. Great, delicious citrus flavor. Yeah, just a huge fan of Full Throttle. If you see it at the store, grab yourself a can, kick back and relax, and you're good to go.
You've heard it here first, and maybe for the second time, folks. Full Throttle makes Adam go full throttle. With
No,
that,
I'm sorry. I
go
just
ahead.
want to say real quick. I checked real quick, and you had a long discussion about energy drinks last year, but Adam actually ranked just like his favorite thing. It was just 10 random things.
Okay.
Number 1
Sweet.
was fantasy football.
Oh, wonderful. I feel
Still
like
number 1.
yeah, I feel like we talked about energy drinks. I'm glad we did not rank them. Thank you so much, Adam, for that. Let's get into
Okay.
let's hop over into the mailbag here. Maybe the lightest mailbag of the season so far. We've got no hotline messages here, but feel free to call in if you want to. Adam, I'm gonna let you take over the mailbag section if you don't mind.
Sure.
If you
I can read my own messages, you're saying?
Yes, just read your own messages and then
Okay.
we can move on.
Okay, so first one, I'll start from the bottom here. Didn't mean any shade to Corby about Doggo. Corby, I congratulated Colin on having a new child, which is worthy of congratulations. I didn't mention the dog because it just seems a little less. It just seems a little less substantial to me when compared
Well, I
to a new
totally
child.
agree. I
That's
don't
the
know
only
where
reason.
I don't know where the shade came from. Did Colin manifest that? Because I didn't feel. I felt
Someone
no
thought there was.
shade.
I think maybe Colin thought there was shade, but there was no shade.
Dude, why would you congratulate me? It makes no sense.
I treat my
Well,
dog.
congratulations now.
Thanks.
And Colin, I take back the congratulations to you. No, I'm just kidding. Spoiler alert: Cash did not put Evan Ingram in. That was my next comment. Yeah, Cash didn't play Evan Ingram. I'm not really sure why. Since week 12, fun fact: Evan Ingram has more fantasy points than any other tight end in the league.
That's not
So
surprising.
he should probably be in your starting lineup. I don't know, just an idea. He's also like the 3rd ranked tight end on the whole season. So again, probably should be in your starting lineup. Anyway, even though Higbee played well, but I mean, Cash usually starts 2 tight ends, so like it's weird that he didn't play Ingram, I feel like. Next comment. All the puns last week were great. No shade to Fitzy. Yeah, I don't know. Fitzy and his comments seem to think I was throwing shade at him. I don't know why he thought that. I mean, he's not here, so like we can just say it now. I mean, he's a dumbass. I don't know what he was thinking. Just kidding, Fitzy. Last comment. I remember drafting McKinnon constantly back in the day for both the Vikings and San Francisco. He never played games for me. Love to see him have success. I hope he drops 50 against me and no scores points for Mike. Yeah, one of those guys back in the day, Jerick McKinnon, who like, the spark score was always just off the charts, and you draft him and he'd play one game and he'd just be out for the season. And that would be pretty much every time you drafted him. And then I don't even know how old he is now. I mean, that was literally like it feels like it was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, this is definitely a career year. It's kind of weird, but I love to see it. I really do. Especially now that Mike's eliminated. I hope he has 100 next week. Just 10 touchdowns. Just let him score all game. Love that.
Is he this year's Cordero Patterson? Not to the same degree, but he's some old dude who came out of nowhere.
I feel like Patterson did it all season long that year, right? And McKinnon just suddenly turned it on like the second half of the year, and he's been just ridiculous. So yeah,
fair enough. Okay, yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it for the mailbag.
I'd like to say real quick. I hope that there's another voice in the comments this week besides myself.
Well,
and besides you guys, like we need another person on here.
I kind of get it because like towards the end of a season,
I mean,
if you're doing really bad, you probably don't want to be reminded about
the
league about you're doing terrible in like Chris Colby's he's last place. He's like, I don't want to do this anymore. And then Mike makes some sporadic appearances still, but it's tough. I get it.
Well, hey, Mike's fighting for 3rd, so he better be here.
Yeah, what does that mean though? That's basically the same as last, right?
I mean, yeah, but in your guys' eyes, it's like as good as fucking ending world hunger. So let's go, Mike, I guess.
let's go over to the playoff week, week 2 recap here. Let's start with Colin versus Tyler. Spoiler alert here: Tyler wins. Colin's team takes a big fat doo-doo, scores 104 points, gets blown out. Colin picked Colin, I picked Tyler, and the coin picks Tyler. Colin, I'll let you let you elaborate if need be.
Well, it's tale as old as time. Top point scorer of the league for the whole year. I ended the year with 2 hundo in the last week of the regular season, and then I put up my lowest score of the entire season. I was projected to win. Not that that really means anything. Here's a funny story. Here's the story that encapsulates it all. Okay. So after Malik Willis scored a rushing touchdown, this was like early Sunday, so like it doesn't really mean that much, but I remember after Malik Willis scored a rushing touchdown, so I was projected to win about 160 to 119. I was whooping and hollering, hooting and hollering. Josh Allen was not doing that great. Gino was terrible. Justin Jefferson was like the only one doing good on Tyler's team. And then my mom calls me, and over the course of this 5-minute conversation, I remember Darius Slayton had like a 50-yard catch. Saquon Barkley had like a 30-yard touchdown. Justin Jefferson caught a touchdown. I think Josh Allen threw a touchdown. Tyler literally in 5 minutes put up about 40 points, and the projections were even after that, and it was all downhill from there. So my mom ruined my Christmas Eve. She ruined my Christmas. She's ruined 2023 already for me. She's ruined fantasy football. I may not ever speak to her again. I may not ever be in this league again. So this is Colin signing off, saying congratulations, Tyler, on ruining my life.
Wow.
What happened out there? Look at my team. Look how many single-digit dudes there are. What happened?
Did you see the guys in your lineup?
Oh yeah, DeAndre Hopkins with 10 targets and one.
Dude, who was his quarterback though? I mean, come on.
So who's
you had to expect something could go wrong.
Who's Tyler Higbee's quarterback?
Baker Mayfield's.
It was rhetorical.
Hold on, I'm looking at your
lineup. Tyreek just like have like some of their words. It's just it's what it is. It's the breaks of the game. Sometimes you guys just don't pop off.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bummer, but it is what it is.
Yeah, that's a shame. I mean, you did have some scrubs in there for sure.
Well, I had a tough time. I lost Debo and Mike White and
Okay, well, I don't know if I'm going to count Mike White as like a big loss.
Losing.
All right, just skip over Adam. Just
I mean, no. I mean, you started Deion Jackson. I think he played like 8 snaps. You started Chris Moore with Brandon Cooks back.
That was a bad choice.
I mean, obviously, like changing out those guys for whoever.
Yeah, like what are the points on my bench? Oh, I would have got like 5 more points starting Darren Waller.
Well, to be fair, you picked up Deion Jackson. I don't.
Okay, but who else would I picked up at running back? Have you seen the waiver wire?
It's not very good.
Yeah, like who else would I could have picked up? Kenneth Gainwell got like 8 points.
Yeah, I don't know.
Another thing, yeah, that's another one.
I think you could have just had a better running back in the first place, but.
Well, that's it. Damian Pierce got hurt too. Like it's the breaks of the game. I'm the top point scorer of the year. I've had a good roster all year. It's just sometimes
shit happens.
Yeah, shit happens. That's why I'm saying you can't look at it in a binary first or bust way, because first there's a lot of luck that goes into it in first place.
I don't agree. You gotta win. You gotta win when the time comes.
Yeah, but what? You don't think it's luck that my guys didn't stay healthy and that my guys just didn't happen to have good weeks? You think it's not luck that you think it's not luck that Tyler Higbee had 30 points this one week against me? No, that was Tyler's skill, right? Because you were talking about him too.
I think Higbee was a terrible. I think it was a terrible decision to start him.
Well, clearly not.
Process.
Tyler just must be more skilled than
you. But so I mean, everyone deals with injuries though. Is the thing. Like Cash was in the final. He lost Cooper Kupp. Who else? He lost someone else injury. Like I don't have Lamar Jackson. Like everyone's dealing with injuries. So I don't know. You just got to score the most points when the time comes. That's what I think.
Yeah, this team scored a lot of points throughout the year.
I'll say, Colin, I will say all year your team has not had any depth. You've had a bench full of quarterbacks, and now it comes to the playoffs, and you're complaining because you had to start fucking Deion Jackson at running back. And let me tell you, if maybe 5 weeks ago you didn't have 8 quarterbacks on your team, maybe you have.
I disagree.
I don't.
I should have kept my quarterbacks, because then I wouldn't have started Malik Willis. I could have had Sam Darnold in there.
You would have had 10 more points. Who cares?
Me.
What's the
Would have
difference?
been my worst score of the week. We can go in circles here. Let's go to the next matchup.
You needed a real couple running backs and flex guys, I think, and they could have been on your bench
There's not
like
three
I have.
times.
You know.
So let's go on to the next matchup here. We had Mike versus Adam, where Adam walks his way into a finals bout here. Colin picked Mike, I picked Adam, and the coin also picked Mike. I mean, let's look at Mike's spoiler alert. Let's look at Mike's new team name here. Little man Derek Carr. This guy puts up 6 points against you. I think this makes a lot of sense. I don't know. I just felt really strongly about your team, Adam, going into the week, and I feel good with that.
Yeah, I felt pretty solid. I felt pretty good going into the week. I knew Mike was a tough opponent. The projections had us matching up fairly close to, I think it was like 60-40 or something like that. Made a couple bad decisions with my starting lineup that I, looking back, I realized I fucked up. Like starting all week, I was trying to decide between Darnold and Huntley, and I went with Huntley. Should have started Darnold. Denver defense had -4. You never want to see that. But yeah, other than that, I mean, Mike, he was a great opponent. I feel like these matchups this week lasted like a fucking year too, because it was like Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and like it just wouldn't end. And yeah, I love the little man Derek Carr nickname, because boy, that guy sucks.
He does. He does suck.
Yeah, I picked Mike to win this one, and he has a great team, and he really could have put up more of a fight. But yeah, they're just those terrible games from Carr and Stephon Diggs. And in his time of need, he wasn't there. That's sad. But Mike has a great team. He'll probably beat me for third, so that's something.
Mike, I'm pulling for you for the podium, my friend.
What the hell?
But I mean, at least some of us are.
Let's go, Mike.
Jeez.
Or Colin.
All right.
I don't really care.
Let's get to the standings here. Of course, as always, Colin, for the first time this season, does not pick a game correctly. Goes 0-2 like a dumbass. He's now 50-32 on this season. I go 2-0 undefeated. Great week for me. Fantastic week for me. 41-23. Fitzy, unfortunately, did not get his picks in time. Goes 0 for 0. And is 47-33 on the season. And the coin goes 1 for 1 like a coin does, and is now 34-48 on the season. I didn't have any transactions.
Yeah, I don't.
Because they're running tomorrow.
Right, the waivers are tomorrow, so we'll see, I guess.
We'll put a pin in it, I guess.
We'll get into that.
Name
you guys
changes.
got any good waiver claims in? I got a couple in.
Okay.
You don't have to tell me who they are. I just want to know if you have any in.
I don't, because I'm not playing this week.
That's fair.
I put in one for Kenneth Gainwell.
I don't know if you looked, but there's no one of note available. So I was curious.
That's crazy.
What do you think about these eliminated teams? I think you spoke a little about it. I think
it is what it is.
Teams. Do you like it or no?
I don't care. I mean, it's not something I personally do, just because I feel like I don't know. I just don't feel the urge to pick up guys after I'm eliminated. Like, I'm more than happy to just set my lineup however I think is best with
trust the
who's already on my team. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I've always done. Except in the $100 league, it's because it's a keeper league. I encourage, you should be picking up guys for sure that you might maybe want to keep. But other than that, But also, that's the only league I'm eliminated in. So
name changes. All right, already spoiled the lead here. Mike changes his name to Little Man Derek Carr. Yeah, it's a 1 out of 10, just like Derek Carr's skill as a quarterback in the NFL is. Not a fan. Not a fan of Derek Carr.
I like the name. I don't like Derek Carr.
The name is good. Yeah.
The name is good.
I just don't like Derek Carr.
10 for the name and 1 for the quarterback.
I guess we're gonna keep moving right along here. Let's go back to Fitzy's dark, twisted fantasy thing. His losers bracket. Let's recap last week's matchups for shit mountain. Brandy versus Taylor in the matchup. Taylor loses 102-108, and because of that, Brandy will not be moving on to the finals. So Taylor is moving on to the finals of the Biggest Loser bracket. In the matchup for the final matchup, that was a Chris Bowl, is Chris Cloud versus Chris P in the loser. Or I'm sorry, that's not Chris P. That's Chris Colby. So it's Chris Cloud versus Chris P. Chris Cloud loses 105 to 123 and moves on to the finals of the Shit Bowl. So the ultimate losers final for who will lose out. Fitzy's thing is Taylor versus Chris Cloud. Anyone have any opinions on who's going to lose this matchup?
Probably Taylor.
Who's going to score less points?
Probably Taylor.
Well, first of all, I'm real bummed. You know, Brandy was my champion. Barely squeaked out a win, or whatever you want to call it. 108 to 102. So that's a bummer. I think you know, when we picked our people and you picked Chris Cloud, I was bummed because that would have been my pick, and he's still my pick. You know, I don't know. I just like, it's whatever. It's a toss up. You know, it could be either. I think Chris. After putting those charts together, the Peaky Finders. Ever since then, I've just been so, you know, disillusioned by Chris's team. I give big thumbs down for me. What do you think about Peaky Finders, Adam?
I loved it. It's a great name too.
Thanks.
It's genius. In regards to this Biggest Loser thing, I still don't fully understand it. But
None of us do.
but when it comes down to it, if the question is who's going to score less points, and the two choices are Taylor and someone else, give me Taylor every time.
Yeah,
you can take it to the bank every time.
Yeah, it's
No,
very.
you can't.
Yes, I
Remember
would.
the Peaky Finders. He has these peak weeks.
I know, but I'm telling you, that's gonna stop eventually. There's gonna be a fantasy season potentially soon where he doesn't get any of this good luck, and he just has literally like 90 points every week.
Yeah, 0-14.
You know? Yeah, I'm telling you.
And then maybe we'll have to have a serious discussion about demotion.
He's just gonna like average 90.
Oh my god. Okay, I think I'm gonna, honestly, if I have to pick one here, I know that my champion is Chris Cloud, but I'll keep my money there. But I'm gonna assume that Taylor's gonna lose this one for sure, or wins this one. I don't know.
Well, speaking of winning, this has nothing to do with winning, but I just want to bring up a topic or an interesting, you know, thought exercise, because we're closing out the year, and it's good to have three of us here and just to discuss. We don't know what's going to happen this offseason. You know, there's a lot of free agents. A lot of guys are going to be moving and trades and stuff or whatever. We don't know where everyone is. But I just want to, you know, obviously from the beginning of the year to now, the value of a lot of players has changed. And I just wanted to have a little discussion about some players, what you guys think they'll go for next year. So I'm going to name a player and you guys tell me like a ballpark. Because we kind of brought this up last week. And then I thought it was a really interesting. I think me and Corby had different opinions about Jonathan Taylor and what he's going to go for next year, because people are going to be scared. Who's a kind of similar player? I don't even know. Oh, maybe like Todd Gurley after his second year or something. Although he also got hurt, so it's tough to. But he's got a down year. So is he gonna what do you guys think Jonathan Taylor goes for next year? What would you spend? I should say. Actually,
I still think he's gonna go for a lot,
like
a lot of money. No, well, I think he was the second highest priced player this year, right, behind McCaffrey.
Probably right next to each other.
And I feel like he'll be like the third or fourth running back, and like go for like 50 something bucks. That's my prediction.
50 something?
Yeah, I think so.
I think my max I would spend on him is like, I mean, at this point, it's hard to say. Like, everything's going to change in 6 months.
Right.
But I would probably say like $48 maximum.
Okay.
That
guy stinks.
Yeah, he sucks.
Do you guys think we'll see like a general shift in in the beginning of the year? I had that big like spreadsheet about spending different positions. I think in my pre-draft.
Yeah.
episode, like, and I forget, I don't even remember. Oh, the price of quarterbacks has increased every single year. I haven't done it for this one we just did, so I don't know if that's still
Right.
true. I don't know if it will. I feel like my zero quarterback strategy this year obviously like worked really well. I mean, I didn't. I got the most points in the regular season. Okay, and that's a big sample size.
I've heard that before.
I'm not going to take a 1-game sample size of a playoffs. I'll take the 15-game sample size.
Not to get off track, but I do think having 8 quarterbacks on your team all year really hurt your team.
It
down the
wasn't all
stretch.
year. It was a few weeks. It was like 3 or 4 weeks.
It was most of the year, I would say.
I think it was. Well, maybe it was. I don't know.
I
And then
feel
the
like we
moment I
had
gave
at
up on it is
least
when I could have
6.
used it.
Yeah, I
All right.
guess. But
We are getting off topic. What do you guys think?
So
DeAndre Swift. He went for 44. Oh, never
DeAndre
mind. You want to
Swift.
answer the question, Adam? What did you?
No, I
What
was
did
just gonna say I personally
Right.
think quarterbacks should go for more money.
Right.
If I don't know if that surprises you, considering who I drafted and who I usually draft.
Well, I feel like
but like
historically,
I
I
mean,
feel like in this league, you're pretty quarterback heavy. I think you've owned
yeah.
Patrick Mahomes and Lamar like 2 years ago. You had them
Mhm.
both too.
I mean, in these 2 quarterback leagues, I definitely think I value quarterbacks a little more than some other people do, maybe. And I think it generally works out. So I feel like I don't know, maybe other people will realize it and quarterbacks will go for a little more next year. But
I think the big names will go for more money, but I think generally people will spend less. I think people like Brandy got burned this year, got spent like $38 on Russell Wilson, and just
yeah.
like that is so much money, and
Yeah,
just like
that's
Yeah.
yeah, and
Even at the
I feel
time, I
like
think we were like,
oh,
well, didn't
definitely.
Brandy
But
draft 3 quarterbacks? And had
Brandy
no I
drafted
remember
4 quarterbacks. I'm
but I
pretty
remember
sure.
I remember maybe it was either Wilson or Tom Brady. And then like that was just
Burrow
like
too.
the money was just gone after that. Like
Yeah. So it's hard. It's hard.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I definitely plan on spending more for what that's worth. Like for like whatever I just said, whatever that's worth.
I mean,
I plan on spending more next season. So
I'll happily have a bidding war for like Mahomes and Hurts and
yeah,
Allen and those guys. Like
no doubt about it.
I'm
And
down to
Colin,
spend.
Colin, you said the next player you want to talk
I was
about
gonna say DeAndre
was
Swift, but and we can talk about him, but it just feels
Yeah.
like it's tough because like I said in the beginning, like we have no idea what is going to happen to these rosters. Like, is Jamal Williams still going to be there? Like,
Right.
who are they going to draft? And so I guess it's a silly exercise, but just like the concept of DeAndre Swift, which is like a player who has all this talent, but might. I guess it's hard to say, but just that kind of. I'm just curious about how what different factors influence the
Mhm.
price the next year. Do you guys like DeAndre Swift? I don't even know.
No, not at all. I gotta say, for me, DeAndre Swift, like, if the Lions wanted to use him as much as a $40-something price tag would say that he needs to be used, like they would have done it already. So yeah, no, I have no interest. I wouldn't
Do you guys
spend
think
20. I wouldn't
Justin
spend $20
Jefferson
on him.
He'll probably be the top receiver next year?
Jefferson.
Yeah, probably right.
Yeah, probably.
And then
Or
the
maybe
last
it might be Cooper Cup again.
oh, that's right. If Stafford plays, yeah, he'll still be good.
Mhm.
If Stafford stays. And then the last one I wanted to ask was about Travis Kelce, who has been pretty insane this year, right? Corby, you'd say so?
yeah. To go back to DeAndre Swift, I wouldn't spend any money on him. He's completely useless
That's
and
true.
just
Good
roster
one.
clog. Guy
Yeah,
sucks. I hate him. Travis
agreed.
Kelce, I would spend $40 on him.
Oh, that's conservative.
Oh, dude, like, I guess I feel like I'm not gonna stop at this point this year. I was very, very afraid because I was like, he's old? He's older now, right? Is this the year? But like,
Yeah.
he has shown zero sign, and I'm just gonna keep drafting him until I see it. So the sky's the limit on what I'll pay for that guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of feel similarly about Kelce, honestly. I remember there was like some buzz this past offseason that he might like, get his workload scaled back a little bit. Didn't happen, obviously. It's been another great year. So I think you can trust him until you realize that you can't, basically.
Yeah, it just feels like with like the fall of Mark Andrews this year, as someone who's owned him in like multiple leagues, like is he still the tight end too? I don't even know. Like I just feel like
No,
the
no.
Chisholm is like colossal, you know?
To be honest, I never was that high on Mark Andrews. He really only had one like excellent year last
He
year.
did the same thing 2 years ago
Yeah,
that he's doing this year.
I'm not a big fan. Gotta say.
I
It's
I
for
would
me.
never draft
For me,
that guy.
if I don't get Travis Kelce, like I'm more than happy to take like the 10th best tight end. Like I'm not gonna spend up for like Andrews or like Hawkinson or you know what I mean. Like I'll take Dallas Goedert or I'll take fucking Taysom Hill. Who cares?
Well,
You
Dallas
know?
Goedert is still like he's a semi.
Well, I'm talking. Yeah, I'm talking like based on like where I drafted Goddard at like this season. I feel like he was ranked like the 10th tight end maybe. But I mean, he's having a solid year. But like,
Yeah, he's no Evan Ingram.
but even Evan Ingram compared to Travis Kelce, like
Right.
it's not even remotely close. You know, like
That's why he's just such an interesting. That's why it was an interesting one for me because
Yeah.
like it's not even Travis Kelce I'm really asking, but just like tight ends in general.
Mhm.
Like that's such a I don't know. It's just that's what I think of.
I mean, Kelce has over 100 more points than the next tight end. So it's
When
kind of
Travis
insane.
Kelce retires, we get rid of the tight end position.
We might need to honestly just do like a bunch of wide
If
receiver,
anything, I
running
would
back,
say
tight
wait
end
until he
flexes.
retires. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, go ahead.
If anything, I would say get rid of it now because it's just like unfair. And then when he retires, we'll put it back in.
Bring it back, and then everyone has a scrub on their team.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know. Yeah, he definitely like breaks the position a little bit though. It's maybe one day Kyle Pitts will be used properly and he can do the same thing.
Yeah, fat chance. Hopefully the Chiefs trade for him or something.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be sick.
So I was just bringing that up because I just got knocked out of the playoffs and I'm already thinking about next season.
Yeah.
But thanks for indulging me. We can move on.
Let's move on to the main event. In one corner, we have a deli manager who rules with an iron fist. Tyler. In the other corner, we have a gentleman who rules the Excel spreadsheets with an iron fist. Adam. Let's look at the tail of the tape. If you would look at my screen, I'm going to share my screen, and I will share the video audience as well. So what I've done here is this is the way I've decided to compare both of these teams. I'm sorry, it's a little blown up, but I've taken the physical features of each starting lineup as it currently stands, height, weight, and age, and I've gotten the sum of each of them and the average of each of them, and that has helped me determine who is going to win this matchup. So let's look at Adam's team. We can get to the color coding afterwards. In total, the height is 60 feet, 0.5 inches of all of Adam's starting players right now. His tallest player is Dallas Goedert, who is reigning at a gargantuan 77 inches. In terms of weight, we're at a total of 1.062 tons of man meat. And the heaviest player in the starting lineup is Dallas Goedert at a staggering 256 pounds. Now, let's look at the age column. You'll notice that we have an average age of 25.7 years old, which seems like a pretty nice, young, ripe age for a fantasy football team. His oldest player on his team is Keenan Allen, who is at a ancient 30 years old, only 1 year older than me. Now, let's move on to Tyler's team. So, let's look at the height column here. We are standing at 61 feet 10 inches, which is taller than Adam's team. His tallest player, Tyler Higbee, 78 inches. Let's get to the weight category again. It's the tight end. It's Tyler Higbee, a whopping 243 pounds. That's like 7 billies. And of course the age column, the ever important age column, where we've got Latavius Murray in the starting lineup, and he's the oldest player in the starting lineup at 32, and he's a running back. We have an average age of 26.6 with a total years of 266 years old. So where does that lead us? if you'll notice, I have Tyler winning the height category because taller is always better, and the weight category because thicker, again, always better. But I do have him losing the age category because when you're old and you play football, you're just not good. So with that being said, here we take all of these factors into account. I'm still going to take Adam because he has the better roster and he's going to win everything. He's going to win it all. And that was Corby's cells.
I like it. Never would have thought to break it down that way. But seeing it on paper like that, I mean, I'd never thought my team was 60 feet tall. And over a ton heavy. Over a ton.
Some big guys.
They need clearance before going over the bridges. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna beat Cash, but not because of any of those things.
Why are you gonna beat Cash?
Because my team is better.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Destiny's on my side this year, honestly. So I can't imagine losing in any of the championships I'm in this week. I'm gonna win all the leagues that I'm in.
Do you think if you win them all, it'll catapult you into diamond rank?
Yeah, actually, I was waiting for my ranking to update today. It's still showing last week's ranking because I won in all 5 or all 4 of my Yahoo leagues. So I was wondering, let me see if it updated. I was wondering what it would go up to.
I don't think it did.
Didn't update yet, no. Because it was at 844 last week. It's still at 844.
Yeah, it wouldn't make a lot of sense if you went minus 16 after winning 4 games.
No, exactly. So it must be slow to update this week. But yeah, I think there's a good chance that I'll be diamond pretty soon. I don't think I've been diamond since 2013.
Oh, that'll be a momentous occasion.
When I had the full Broncos roster.
Oh my God, I hated that.
That was the year Manning threw like 55 touchdowns.
Yeah. You beat me. Me and Cash were co-managers.
I beat you.
We had a great week.
I had a better week.
You had like 260 or something.
I actually was looking at that not that long ago, and but basically it was because of the Broncos. Like Manning had like 35 points, and I think it was Eric Decker had like 38. It was like a
literally had like
stat line.
Yeah.
It was like an insane stat line from Eric Decker, particularly.
Remember Eric Decker?
What a fun team, dude. Yeah, he had like 3 touchdowns or something insane.
Yeah, this is a different league. Yeah, this was 2 tight ends. No.
But I mean, that was just fun season.
I'm sure it was. I'm also taking Adam. I don't really want to talk about it. He's got a great team. Could use some better running backs. Deion Jackson. I think he's underrated. No, I'm taking Adam.
Maybe there's a chance Deion Jackson. Maybe there's a chance he'll be available on free agency for me to pick up. I don't know. They use Zach Moss now. They like Zach Moss.
What happened?
I have no idea.
So sad.
I mean, Zach Moss is terrible. I don't think Deion Jackson is good though. So I don't know.
Oh, wow. I disagree. Welcome, everyone. Welcome back the virtual coin.
Oh boy, the finale of the coin.
I'm gonna flip the coin. It's going to be an American voting coin, circa 2004. Flip coin. It's heads, so that means the coin picks Adam.
Yes. Yes.
The clean sweep.
Win secured.
Win secured by a coin flip. And that's the only one we're going to talk about this week because the rest don't matter.
Whoa,
so let's.
Hey.
I would like to make a formal pick of Mike for 3rd place.
Oh, we could talk about. Okay, Colin. Colin, do you have some stuff for 3rd place? We could talk about 3rd place.
No, I was really just joking, but we could talk about it. But I mean, if I have Mike White and Tebow coming back, I think I'll win. I don't know.
You said Tebow?
Mike White and Debo or Tebow?
I thought you said Tebow. Oh man.
Debo.
It's like it was Tebow.
If I get Tebow back, it's an automatic dub. I don't know. We'll see. I need to find a new running back.
Yeah.
But I'll take myself always, even if I think Mike will beat me. I'm still gonna take myself.
For sure.
I never give up. Do you have an opinion, Corby?
I think Mike has the 2nd best team, so I think he's gonna win. So
Yeah. Mike's team was scaring me this past week. I thought for sure there were a couple points I thought he was going to win. He's got a good squad.
He does.
And I'm gonna flip this coin again. I close the tab. I'm gonna flip it again, and the coin picked. Who the hell is that? That's a picture of George Bush. The coin picks heads and is going with Colin, I guess.
Congrats,
Okay.
Colin.
Congrats, Colin. You split the difference there.
Thanks, guys.
Let's move on to bets of the week recap. Colin versus Corby, points week 15. I won by like 30 something points. So fuck you, Colin. Colin's tight end versus Evan Ingram. I took Colin's tight end. I don't even know who it was. Evan Ingram won. Evan Ingram definitely won.
Well, the rule was if any of
okay.
my tight ends. I also had the Chig, who you didn't even put in there.
Oh, he's not a tight end.
Oh.
He's a meme.
Yeah, so
points. Dalton Schultz. Yeah, Dalton Schultz and Darren Waller were outscored by Evan Ingram. This next one here, we had Colin versus Tyler. The matchup winner will outscore the loser of Adam versus Mike. Colin won that one as well, and I don't know what this Michael Pittman bet was. I didn't go back and look. It was catches.
So you probably won, right?
Yeah, so he had 4 catches. So
you weren't, I don't think you would have bet that for points.
Well, I honestly, he only scored 7 points. So over under 5.5. It was catches, and I won. Thank God.
You won.
Thank God. So let's keep the bag open. Does Adam, do you like to make bets? You want to make a bet?
Let's do it. Let's make some bets.
All right. So I feel like I've probably made more than 6 Evan Ingram bets this year. So let's keep the trend rolling. I think Evan Ingram will outscore any tight end on your roster. This can include Taysom Hill, because that's it besides Dallas. Do you think
got it?
Yeah, I think he'll outscore both of those guys, or do you think so too? I know you were just singing his praises. He's playing in a dome.
No, give me my guess.
All right, I respect
I
that.
think Goddard is going to have a big week this week. And Taysom could always go Taysom Hill mode and just put up 30. So, yeah, I'll take my team.
I was disappointed because at one point against Mike, before the games, you had Taysom Hill in your QB2 spot. I was like, is he going to do it?
I was just doing that because I had a feeling I was going to start Taysom because of the weather anyway, and I just thought it would be fun. And I didn't know which quarterback I was going to start, so I was like, I'll just put Taysom here for now and switch it later just to mess with Mike. But yeah, no, I was not going to ever do that.
It's too bad.
Should we make a Tyler Higbee bet?
Sure. Okay. I'll make a Tyler Higbee bet.
Tyler Higbee just had 30.58 points. What do you say about over under 7.5?
I would take the over at 6.5.
Okay. Sure, I'll take under 6.5. Sure, why not?
Adam, who do you think your highest scoring player this week will be?
Oh,
not QB included.
Non QB.
Yeah.
Probably the easy choice is Austin Eckler. What sucks is that I don't think Tony Pollard is going to play this week. So.
Oh no.
I can't pick him. I want to say Austin Eckler. I mean, really
would you make a bet? Travis Kelce versus Austin Eckler.
Yeah, give me Eckler.
Okay, I'll take Kelce.
That guy's game log is just obscene. Austin Eckler.
It's really stupid.
It's great. Both, but Eckler as his lowest total is lowest points is 11.2 week 1.
Yeah.
And then the first 3 weeks, everyone was like, "What is going on with it?"
Yeah, and then he dropped 34.9, 35.9, 24.3, 36.7.
Totally
ridiculous. He's good.
Awesome.
Sure.
Okay, Colin. Colin, I want to double down on our bet last week. Me versus you again.
You're really taking advantage of the. I'm always going to pick myself, but I'm always going to pick myself.
Okay.
So I'll take it.
Let's see. Hold on, Colin. I bet you that. Let me know what you think of this. I say none of the quarterbacks on your team will have more than 15 points this week. 15 fantasy points. None of them. None of them.
That's ridiculous. Yes.
Is it? Is it?
Yes.
I think it's that crazy.
I'm telling you it is. With a healthy Mike White and Jared Goff.
Yeah, Goff is the one that worries me, but like he's had a lot of weeks under 15, and Mike White.
Yeah, these last 4 weeks, he's averaged about probably 20 points.
2 weeks ago, he had 14.
That's almost 15.
Okay, but it's less. So,
what game was that?
It was the game before last. They had 14.
Game. Oh, that's the Jets.
That same game, Mike White had 10. Or no, that was the game before that. But either way, I would love to do that bet if you're interested. I think they'll all have under 15 points.
That's ridiculous. Against Chicago's silly boys.
Jared Goff, man.
Who's on Chicago's defense? I can't. Roquan Smith, is he still there?
I have no idea. I'm
pretty sure he got.
You don't know defensive players, yeah? Maybe
not really.
Eddie Jackson is still there.
I don't know.
Yeah, Eddie Jackson. I just know the names I hear. Maybe
Derek Wolfe.
I don't know. Oh, really?
No, I have no idea.
He's on league.
Richard Sherman.
No, stop.
No, he's on the TV.
Plaxico Burress. Oh wait, he played offense.
Yeah.
Any more bets, boys?
I got nothing.
So I was just looking at the consolation bracket. We have Eric versus Fitzy. The two. That's it for the 7th place game. I'm putting all my chips on Eric. I guess it's tough because we don't really know if Fitzy was going to set his lineup. Right now he has Minshew in, and we don't know. Do we know if Hurts is not playing? I don't know.
Is Fitzy able to set his lineups? Because where is he?
That's a good point.
Because I'm playing him in the championship in the Discord league, and like I was wondering if he's able to set his lineup or not. I don't know. I was just curious if you guys knew.
I hope so.
We had discussed this a little bit before he went on assignment. So I'm really not sure. He said that.
I guess we'll see.
He asked me if I would be able to, but then like mid-sentence, he was like, "You know what? Never mind. I'll be able to do it."
Okay.
Whatever that means.
Okay. Hopefully he sets this one for that 7th place game. Assuming he does. If he doesn't, then any bets can be void. Would you guys take Fitzy or I'm on Team Eric?
Let me go look at it. Eric. Yeah, I'm gonna look at it really quick. I know you've been on Eric for a while here. Let's see.
He did hit the launch button. If you forgot, it sputtered out a bit, but
I'll take Fitzy. I would definitely take Fitzy because I feel like either way. I mean, if it's void, if he doesn't set his lineup, then I would take Fitzy because Minshew is a great sub for Hurts if Hurts doesn't play. So I still feel comfortable with Fitzy's team.
Even if Jeff Driscoll is the only tight end on his roster?
Yeah, that's fine.
I guess who else,
I mean, he's good for like 3 points, so whatever. I mean, who would he pick up that you know for sure is going to do better than that?
I don't know.
So yeah, that's cool.
Where do you have a dog in this fight?
I'm not interested.
All right, so that's it.
Those people are below me. They're in the consolation bracket. Okay, so with that, we'll let's close the. Okay, so yada yada yada. I did all that stuff. Then I said, okay, Adam, you got any plugs? And then you said,
no, I don't have any plugs. I don't think. Let's go team. Let's win a championship. That's all.
Okay. With that, I'm not sure what schedule's looking like for podcasts. I think we're gonna do one more, but we're gonna wait for Fitzy to get back from assignment. So check back in like a month from now, and we'll hand out some gamey awards if you'll be so inclined to remember that. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and what do they also have to do, Colin? What do they have to ring?
The bell.
Yeah, the bell. Okay, thank you. All right, with that, thank you again, Adam. I'm Corby.
And I'm Colin.
And I'm Adam.
And gamers?
Get your eggs.
Game on.
Fresh and white eggs